Good morning, ma'am. My assigned topic is Bioaccumulation-Biomagnification. What is bioaccumulation and biomagnification? These are the two different processes that often in tandem with one another. According to the vocabulary of Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA, bioaccumulation is a process by which chemicals are taken up by an organism either directly from exposure to a contaminated medium or by consumption of food containing the chemicals. Bioaccumulation occurs contaminant uptake exceed contaminant removal. Biomagnification is the process whereby the tissue's concentration of a contaminant increase as it passes up the food chain through two or more trophic levels. This is the consequence of bioaccumulation of a substance in an organism that eaten by a predator. What is the difference of bioaccumulation and biomagnification? Bioaccumulation refers to the accumulation of toxic chemicals in the tissues of a particular organism. Biomagnification refers to the increased concentration of toxic chemical the higher an animal is on the food chain. Persistent organic pollutants are one of the primary concerns when looking at bioaccumulation and biomagnification. These chemicals do not easily break down in the environment and can build up in the fatty tissues of living organisms. Some example of persistent organic pollutants is DDT in the PCBs. DDT is an insecticide that was used extensively post, and the PCBs is a flame retardant. In 1970s, in 1980s, the production of these chemicals was banned, but they can still be found in the oceans as well as the tissues of many marine animals. These chemicals has three ability to persist the environment for long periods of time, ability to move within water, ability to dissolve into the fatty tissues of living organism. These pictures explain the percentage of contaminated level in fish such as mercury and PCBs. Bioaccumulation occurs as organisms consume a contaminated food source or absorb the contaminant. Bioaccumulation occurs at the base of the food web. Usually the primary producer is phytoplankton. Bioaccumulation This microscopic photosynthetic organism absorb PAPs or persistent organic pollutants directly from the seawaters, accumulate them in their bodies over time. Remember that bioaccumulation occurs over time in an organism. Biomagnification explains how contaminants move in a water In a food web, rather, biomagnification occurs when slightly larger organisms called zooplankton feed upon the contaminated phytoplankton and in turn absorb pups into their own tissues at a higher concentration. Biomagnification, the contaminated phytoplankton zooplankton eats, the more pollutants it will have in its body, the pups can be passed from producer to consumer. Biomagnification can continue all the way up the food web or chain. Orca is one of the large apex predator that is heavily impacted by bioaccumulation and biomagnification of persistent organic pollutants or PAPs. Researchers have found extremely high levels of PCBs within the blubber of Arctic orcas, making them the most toxic animals in the Arctic. Additionally, scientists in Japan have found that mother orcas are passing these contaminants to their young through their milks, which has high fat content. PCBs are known to cause problems with reproduction, and studies are currently being conducted to see if and how PUPs or persistent organic pollutants are impacting orcas in other way. Bioaccumulation in biomagnification is not only in the environment, but it is in human too. We eat fish like tuna, so we're gaining a higher level of contamination if we eat often. Human health symptoms of aquatic contaminants, pollutants and symptoms. Pollutant: copper, aluminum, cadmium, manganese, arsenic, mercury, polychlorinated biphenyls. The symptoms: sudden bone fracture, bloody diarrhea, and nervous disorder. These three, aluminum, cadmium, and mercury, are the most harmful effect in human. And these symptoms happens. That's all. Thank you.